Chances are where you are, it's pretty warm. And if you have central air, you want to make sure that unit is running as efficiently as possible. So that involves cleaning your outside condenser coil yearly. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's go. So chances are if you have central air, there's one of these outside of your house. This is an AC condenser. This houses the compressor for the refrigerant in your HVAC system. It also has a fan. And then there are coils, basically 360 degrees around the outside of this where the refrigerant passes. This fan actually sucks in air from the outside here through and blows it out the top. Now, because that sucks air in, you'll get stuff like grass clippings, cottonwood tree stuff, pollen, all sorts of stuff in here. And this really needs to be cleaned annually. Now, if you have an HVAC guy come out and do the cleaning on this, it's gonna run you hundreds of dollars. And it's really simple to do with some basic hand tools and some supplies from your local big box store. So let's get into it right now. Now you're gonna need some sort of foaming cleaner. Now there's a bunch of different brands out there. There is Simple Green. So this is a foaming condenser coil cleaner. It's also good for evaporator coils. They also have it in a spray bottle too. So these are both the same product. One's just in a spray bottle, one's an aerosol can. So I'll link these down in the description if you're interested in purchasing them on Amazon instead of taking a trip to the store. Now, one other thing you're gonna need to be able to get the side panels or the top off of your condenser unit is a 5/16 either nut driver. I have one in a drill driver. You're gonna need a hose. Now, you don't wanna use a pressure washer on here. You can damage the coils on here, but we're gonna need something with a little bit lower pressure than a pressure washer to be able to rinse this down. Now, our first step is the most important one, safety step. We wanna make sure that our disconnect on the outside of the house is off. So this is the service disconnect for the compressor and fan unit on the condenser. So this is a fuse disconnect. There's all different types. There's ones that it's just a regular blade disconnect. There's also ones that you open this up and you pull a little cartridge out and that disconnects the incoming line side to the load side, which would be the fan and the compressor. But either way, you want to make sure that this is off. One other way would be to go to your breaker panel and you find whichever one is marked air handler or AC, shut both of them off. They're normally a dual pole breaker on the air handler unit and on the condenser unit. So what does shutting the disconnect off do? It basically makes sure that there's no power to this unit. The fan's not gonna come on, the compressor's not gonna come on. You don't have a risk of the fan turning on and chopping your finger off or hitting you in the face or anything like that. So you wanna make sure that you shut off your thermostat inside of the house so it's not calling for coolant. That'll keep your air handler from running. And you also wanna make sure that your power on the outside, your disconnect, or even the circuit breaker inside the house for the outside unit is off. So that's safety tip. You have to make sure you do that. I don't want you guys to get injured. This is a very simple task. You can do it, but you have to take those safety precautions. So let's get into the cleaning part. All right, now once you have your power secured, your thermostat shut off, you'll notice these sheet metal screws all around this. Now, depending on your unit, you just want to take like a quick first glance at this and see how the panels come apart, and that will determine how you need to disassemble this. So for this particular one, I'm going to remove all of the outside screws on the top here. So these side panels on mine are actually tucked in between the bottom pan and the top cover. So even me removing these, I can't get the side panels off, so we have to remove the top cover. Some other units, you can just remove the screws on the sides and they just lift up and out, or they just pop right off. So it's gonna vary based on the unit that you have. This is a 20-plus-year-old American standard. All right, so we're just gonna remove all of these. Like I said, try not to use an impact. It's probably okay to use an impact to remove them, but putting them back in, you run the risk of stripping the sheet metal out because it is pretty thin. Now you want to be extremely careful pulling this unit out, right? You don't want to just rip this off of here because you'll notice the wires coming off the fan. I twisted it to the side so I could kind of lay this on the top. And now that I have that sitting there, you can kind of see where the side panels fit up underneath. So now we can remove these bottom screws here and the side screws, and this panel should come off. Oof, look at this. This is filthy. One other thing that I didn't mention that you're probably gonna need is a wet dry vac and an extension cord to run that off of if you don't have power readily available near your condensing unit. All right, so while we have this side apart, we're gonna take our wet dry vac and just start vacuuming out some of this stuff. Now, before you start even using the coil cleaner, you wanna make sure you get any of, the big particulate kind of stuff out of here. Now, you wanna be really careful around the fins in here You don't want to like smash in the fins because that's going to decrease your cooling efficiency. And I actually saw a little friend poke his head out in here, so there's definitely a mouse living in here. I'm going to pull this cover off here. This is our electrical connection cover. And hopefully we don't have a family hop out at me here. Oh, there he is. All right, I don't want to hurt this guy, but I would very much like him to depart ways with my condensing unit. I don't want to suck him up in my vacuum either. Oh, there he goes. He's out of here. All right, so I got all of the little mouse nest that was in here kind of cleaned out. Another safety tip too, you want to make sure you stay clear of this capacitor here. Even with the power off, the capacitor stores power. So if you were to inadvertently, touch one of these terminals and maybe have your hand on the unit, grounding yourself out, there's a chance that you get a little zap on there. Now that we have the mouse situation kind of taken care of, you can see how dirty this coil is. So having a condenser unit this dirty is 100% decreasing your system performance. Now this is a spline fin condenser. You can see the little fins here. They look a little bit different. It's basically, they stick out from the tube. Normally you'll have a plate condenser, and it's basically just a bunch of aluminum plates all sandwiched together, and your coolant or refrigerant lines run in between them. We're gonna go to the other side. We're gonna remove the other panel and vacuum that all out, and then we'll get into actually using this foaming spray cleaner. This is a really old American Standard unit. All of the screws are the same, so even if you mix them up, you don't have to worry about which one goes where. They're all exactly the same. Now we want to vacuum the back side of this, or at least rinse it off with a hose, and we want to try to vacuum out any other debris that's down inside of here. All right, now because this thing is so filthy and it probably hasn't been cleaned in 10 years, it hasn't been cleaned in the 4 years that I've been here. That's my fault. I really want to pull this front cover off because there's a lot of junk in here too. There's little acorns and stuff from this mouse that was living in here. And I'm finding that on this particular model, on some of the other ones I've worked on, you could actually lift the whole top off, set it to the side or brace it against something and be able to wash on the inside. These wires are really tight. So there's a zip tie here I'm gonna cut. Now, another reason why you wanna make sure that the power is off completely, I'm gonna pull that to the side. That's gonna give me a little more leeway with the fan wires. Alternatively, I can mark where the fan wires go on the capacitor and just remove them. I may do that. You probably don't have to do that, but if you do, you just wanna make sure you mark which terminals they go to. Like I mentioned, the capacitor does hold power, so you probably wanna go in between with a screwdriver and short them out. Just be prepared to jump because it will scare the crap out of you if any of these are charged. Probably remove the whole fan unit off the top. So I have a Sharpie. I'm just gonna mark B right here for brown. We have, coming from the fan, we have a brown, a black, and a purple. So the purple goes to the center terminal, and it looks like the black goes to the contactor. Now, you don't have to do this in most cases. That will allow me now to pull this whole unit right off and get in here and deep clean it really well. And I'll show you how bad this is. Look at this. This is probably one of the worst ones I've seen. But now that we have the top off, that's gonna allow us to get our foaming cleaner on the inside, wash this with the hose from the inside out, and that'll wash some of the stuff that's on the outside of the fins out of the unit. So we're gonna continue with our vacuuming here. Now that we have our fan off of here, you can see the inside. So this is our compressor. It's gonna look different based on your system and the age of the system. This thing is red, they're normally black. This is a really old system, like I said, 20 plus years. You can see all the little like chestnuts and acorns and stuff down in here. It looks like there's a bracelet in here or something. We wanna make sure we clean all of that out. And then when we're rinsing the coils, we can actually rinse some of this out. There should be some drain holes in the bottom of this. We'll probably see them better once we get some of this gunk out, but I'm gonna vacuum all this out first. All right, so the inside's all cleaned out. Any of the remaining dirt and stuff will get rinsed out. The cleaner will help to break some of that stuff up too. This whole front was full of like chestnuts and acorns and stuff, so I had to pull the front cover off. I do have some more debris in the back, but I'm gonna try to reach that with my long extension. So I've got this cleaned up, or vacuumed at least, as best as I could. I got all of the heavy junk that was in the back here. I don't wanna remove this back panel because that's what holds the rest of this electrical enclosure on. Like I said, this is not probably going to be the case with your unit. This thing is just really old. It's really dirty. It's probably hasn't been cleaned because the people that used to live in this house did not take care of this house. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our foaming cleaner and we're gonna spray from the bottom up on the outside and from the bottom up on the inside. We're gonna let that soak, and then we're gonna rinse it from the inside out, and that should blow any of the stuff that's sticking to the outside of the fins off. We wanna make sure we don't get any water in this. So what I'm gonna do temporarily is I'm going to put this cover back on, and that'll help just keep any water that we may splash from getting inside of here on the contactor. So this is the simple green foaming coil and condenser cleaner. So this will work on pretty much any type of AC that you want to clean. You want to shake it up a little bit. Now this is what's called a self-rinsing cleaner, and what happens is they say if you just spray this on and let it sit, any condensation that forms on the coils of the condenser or the evaporator coil, that condensation will help wash away any of the debris on there. We're gonna take it one step further, and we're actually gonna use a hose on a very low pressure setting and try to rinse a lot of this heavy debris off. Spray this pretty heavily. We're gonna go from the bottom up. Now 1 can should probably be enough to do an entire condensing unit. If you're planning on doing your evaporator coil, you probably wanna get a 2nd can, or at least get like the bottle like I have. We'll also get the side over here. So you can see the foam kind of dissipates pretty quickly. I know some other brands, the foam stays on there a little bit longer. And then on the back side, I'm just gonna spray on the back side through the back cover. Now this actually gets into the coils a little bit better. I actually kind of like this better because it's like forcing itself in there instead of a spray. But we're gonna hit the inside here. I would say as far as application though, the spray in the can probably goes on more evenly. I'm gonna spray a bunch on the bottom here too to help break up some of this gunk in the bottom here. All right, now we're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes, and we'll come back and rinse this off. We wanna use our hose. We wanna use something that's a little bit, we don't wanna use a mist. We definitely don't wanna use a jet because that'll bend the fins. Rinse also. Let's see, I think shower is gonna be our best bet. So we wanna rinse from the top to the bottom, because if we rinse from the bottom to the top, any of the dirt that, when we get to the top that we rinse, is just gonna go down to the bottom, right? It's just like pressure washing your house. So we're gonna go from the inside out first. And I'm just gonna go little by little from the top down. Don't worry about any water on the inside of the unit because it's gonna drain out through the weep holes in the bottom. But we want to make sure we get kind of close to the coil without actually hitting it. And that's not only going to help rinse the dirt off of the inside, it's going to hopefully push some of that stuff that's on the outside out. Now, if you find that it's still dirty after you rinse it off, you could reapply the foam cleaner once again and just go back through, you know, just repeat the steps that I just showed you a couple times until it's clean to your satisfaction. A bird's eye view of the inside. I haven't done the left wall yet, but as you can see, it's definitely looking a bit cleaner already. Oh man, this is looking night and day better already. The back, we still have the cover on, so we can just shoot straight through. All right, so basically all I'm doing is I'm bringing this kind of really close. I have it on a shower setting. So if you don't have one of these like multi-function nozzles, I would probably recommend getting one of those too. Check this out here. We're gonna spray through the front. See the dirt coming through? Every once in a while you see that water turn brown. So you want to just keep going back and forth, just like that. All right, and now we're rinsed out on the inside and the outside. You can see how much cleaner this thing is. It's night and day. All this stuff sitting right here is all the stuff that washed out of the bottom of the unit. So I took the nozzle, I set it on jet, and I sprayed straight down into the pan where the compressor is mounted here. That broke up the rest of the gunk in the bottom of there and got most of the rest of this stuff out. I'll probably rinse that a little bit. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna hit our front and side panels with the hose. We'll remount those on here, get our fan mounted and rewired in, and we're good to turn the system on. So left side's on. The mice were getting in. They're getting in through this electrical connector. So what I'm gonna use is duct seal. You can buy this at the big box store. It's in the electrical aisle. Stuff's nice. It's like Play-Doh. It's really pliable. And I can just take some of this and just kind of form it in place over this hole. That'll keep them from getting into this electrical box here. All right, we're back on. I'm gonna put our remaining screws on the top. All right, so we're all clean and we're all back together. Let's get this powered on and turn on our thermostat and make sure we're cooling. All right, we're back outside. I hear it. She's running, so I know I hooked the fan back up correctly. We're cleaning. This thing should run a heck of a lot more efficient than it was because it was filthy. All right, and I want to show you what I did to plug up that area where the mice were coming in. So I just used that same duct seal that I used on our line set going into the house right there. I just took a little blob of this stuff. It forms really nice like Play-Doh. Stuck it down in there. So that'll prevent mice from getting in here. Yeah, some little guys may be able to squeeze in here, but with the electrical box now sealed, I'm not gonna have to worry about that anymore. Now, some newer units, you may not have this issue, but since this thing's so old, you know, we gotta protect it because these things aren't cheap to have replaced. Super simple to do this condenser cleaning. It took me a couple hours. I've been reading that this cleaning from an HVAC tech could be anywhere from $300 on up just for the condensing unit. That doesn't even include the evaporator coil inside in your air handling unit. So we're gonna be tackling that video next, so stay tuned. That'll be out on the channel pretty soon. But thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please make sure to like and subscribe and check out some of my other DIY videos. I'm here to save you guys tons of money. See you on the next one.